Hello and welcome. If this is your first time here, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Kristen with the Online Selling Show. If you've been here before, I say welcome back. I appreciate you coming. This is a vlog that I'm doing for myself, and I'm welcoming you along on this journey with me as I create a secondary eBay business. I have had a eBay and Amazon business that I've been in for 22 years now, and since 2017 it has been my husband and I's only source of income. And him and I work together in this, and I know that he wants to retire and completely be out of the business in 2 to 3 years. I kind of enjoy the yard sales and estate sales and stuff, so I'm creating this secondary business to keep through our retirement as a hobby type of business or something as a secondary income for ourselves. So why am I doing that instead of keeping the first one? We may sell that business. I don't know what we're going to do with that yet, but I'm going to tell you, it's just a lot of moving parts. It's very product heavy. So there's a lot to that business that I just kind of want to simplify, and I feel that this secondary business is going to be the way. So as I moonlight on eBay with eBay, I welcome you along. So this is a new week for me. This is, I believe, the 25th. It's Thursday. I don't know if it's the 26th of September. I didn't look at the calendar to see what happens when you don't have to look at the calendar all the time. So this particular week, I have spent a lot of time in the wholesale business because business has picked up. I really should be right now helping my husband ship. Truthfully, he's probably wondering where I'm at. But I just have been getting listings done. I'm scheduled out to, I believe, October 8th right now. And I do have plenty more I could get listed. So I do need to get on that because a lot of it is stuff either you would buy for Christmas or is Christmas related. And truthfully, looking ahead for the weekend, I contacted the gentleman whose estate sales I really like to go to. He is very far from my home. There was nothing really of interest in the one sale he does have pictures from. I do intend to do a second episode, a special episode on further thoughts on when evaluating where you want to go for your weekend, because I don't think the value is in either one of his sales that he's doing. So I've kind of written him off because I wasn't seeing him on the estatesale.net website, and the reason I wasn't is because he was too far out of the realm of what I set up for distance from my home. What is showing up is one sale for tomorrow that is looking phenomenal. Yay. I love vintage Christmas, and I had said in the one episode that I did with the private estate sale that I was evaluating her tinsel tree to buy because I wanted one for myself. And if you saw the episode I did on my inventory, you would have seen my Christmas to know that I really don't have a need for another tree, but I don't have a pom-pom tree. I'll try and put one in the video now. But they have one at this estate sale that's happening tomorrow. Don't know how big it is yet, but it's in a box and it looks great. Another item they have is, I've said it before, is those vintage Christmas trees that you did like as a hobby back in the 70s and stuff. Like everybody's grandmother must have made one. Those trees, they actually do still sell for like $100 to $150, depending on how great the paint job is, how big they are, if there's a base and all that kind of stuff. But this is one I have never seen in all of my years. It is a very atomic, mid-century modern kind of look. It's ivory with gold accents. Truthfully, if I get it, I may be having a tough time giving it up. I'm just telling you. So, depending on the price and everything, that looks great. They have other ones. One has a nativity inside, but that one doesn't have as great of a paint job. I'm going to have to see on that again for pricing. And they have a lot of photos, and I'm going to be honest, I tried to do Google reverse image searches and was not finding any of it for giving me some comps. It was horrible. So some of the smalls they had were like candle holders or ceramic figures and stuff. I'm going to have to kind of wing it when I get there because I need to see maker's marks and stuff like that. And the photos just weren't giving me what I needed to make an evaluation. Another item they have there are these push pin ornaments, and they're kind of exactly what it says. Another thing from the 70s that these women used to just sit around and do, where there was like satin balls. They would get the pins that you use for sewing, you know, just a typical dress pin, and sequins and beads, and they would just decorate these things up. And the thing that I found in my research is the more ornate and unique and just, beautiful looking, the higher the price tag. Unfortunately, some of the ornaments in there look like maybe they were like kindergarten, like art projects. Just saying. But then some of them are very figural with like Santa and rocking horses and nutcrackers, and they're very figural ones, and they look very nicely done. And what I'm finding is that they tend to be like in the middle of the price range. So my guess is that you can guess which ones I want to go buy. I'm going to probably try and get those at a reasonable price and group them up. They seem to be going around the $10, $12 mark. The very ornate ones that were very beautiful could go anywhere from $20 to $30 an ornament. So I think, like I said, I think I can build value by doing them in a bundle. Then I don't see anything else. We have a lot of the demolition sales posted, which I mentioned before is exactly what it is. Somebody's bought a house at the shore. They're paying a demolition company to knock it down so they can build a bigger, better, more their style, whatever kind of mansion there. And these demolition companies have some kind of, offering that they do where they'll sell everything from the roof to the rocks, which means when you go inside, they'll sell you the toilet, they'll sell you the dishes, they'll sell you the railings, they'll sell you anything in those houses. But unfortunately, they don't have the best of pictures, and it's a gamble for me. It's an hour from my home just to get there. So I don't tend to look at those too much. Maybe in the off season when I'm not having as many of these sales to go to. But that sale is a definite. I'm hitting it tomorrow. I never shopped with this company before. I do know I got to be prepared. I got to have gas in the car. I got to see if I need to have cash or they'll take a credit card. I plan on probably taking the wagon with me to help me get the stuff to the car because I'm already calling it. I'm buying a haul. And I need to take like a chair and probably like a boost or something just to get myself, because I intend to leave the house at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I want to be that first one in the door. And I expect I'm going to have to be sitting there because they said in what I read, they don't give out tickets or something like that until like an hour before. So, I expect I'm going to be there for a while, making sure I got my phone charged, all that kind of stuff. So Saturday, I may hit some yard sales, but we've got intense, heavy cloud cover. We've had it for like 2 or 3 days now. I'm in the southern New Jersey region. We realistically get the hurricane seasons that come through here. We get the nor'easters. Supposedly over the course of the next 4 days, we're going to be having a possibility of 50% or more rain. That definitely affects whether somebody's going to have a yard sale or not. I don't know if we're realistically going to get hit with it. I don't even know that there's anything moving up the coast. We can get days of 2 to 3 days of straight rain. So just going to have to keep my eye on it. Again, my area does not post their yard sales until like the morning of, unfortunately, because I am in the very outside edge of one part of the county. And I like to go to the other edge, like diagonally, to go yard sailing. And it takes prepping and planning. And I kind of can't get that because they don't post to that day. And I'm out of my house usually at 7 because it does take me some time to get there and stuff. And so I don't know what Saturday's going to bring. I will do a wrap-up video. And I'll probably try and do a sale video of me shopping at that sale. Hopefully there's going to be some good stuff. So we'll be back. Today is Saturday, September 28th, I believe. Figured this would be just as good of time to do my wrap-up video. I did start the week off giving you some ideas as to what I was going to have going on. And truthfully, other than that one estate sale that I mentioned, there wasn't anything else. We have been getting the last 2 days the effects, or I guess it's the after effects of Hurricane Helene. Thank God, we've needed rain. It's been well over a month since we've gotten anything. We've gotten just gentle rain. We've gotten nothing close to what they're getting down south. Pray for those people down there. I do. And there really, like I said, there wasn't anything else. I looked to see other estate sales, nothing else pending. I looked, there was a few things on Facebook Marketplace that kind of showed some interest in, but either they were just, pricing was not working out, or just didn't, nothing really showed up. Anything showing up for yard sales have all been postponed. So that's it. That's all I really had this week, was the one estate sale that I do have a separate episode for. And then I will just plan to go home today, get some more listings on. I really want to start digging into the Fisher Price Little People I picked up. Hard to say, it's been 2 weeks since I got that. It's amazing that it's been that long, or that it just, time just goes so fast. So I'm going to sign off for now. Next week, I do expect there's going to be, it's the same people who have the estate sale company that I went to this week. And according to what they told me, that next week's is like way more packed of a house. I can tell you, looking at it, that there is going to be more Christmas. And one statement they made to me was that there's so much they expect they may have to do a second sale from this home. So I'm expecting there's going to be a lot more pictures coming than what's been there. So if you want to catch up with that sale, that will be in my next week's video. And I haven't really paid attention. There are some other postings up for other companies. I can tell you, I did speak to the one company that I really like to attend their sales. If I didn't mention it in the last one, they had 2 going on this weekend. Friday, Saturday was in an area that was quite a distance from my house. It's going to probably be an hour and 15 to 20 minutes one way to get there. So that means it's going to be almost 3 hours round trip. And they really didn't have anything that kind of fit in my wheelhouse. And then Sunday, they're doing a 1-day sale. It is a client of theirs' sister who is she's, from what I understand, battling cancer and having to move in with another sister to help with her care, and has a lot of decorative art glass type of stuff. Did not have any postings up for that sale yet. I don't believe I'm going to be going to that one because, again, art glass doesn't seem to be in my wheelhouse, and I can't fathom that that's going to be great for shipping. So I'm going to sign off for now. I thank you for watching my videos. Stay tuned. I will be showing a synopsis of the week's sales right after this, and I will say catch you in the next one for now. I did forget to give my weekly update, as I said I would do, to start showing the fall foliage coming here to southern New Jersey. You really can't see much. I have that one tree that's right there in the center that I said before is kind of showing some reds. But the trees are just kind of getting started. You can see that one top of that one tree here is starting to turn. So you're getting some tips of the trees starting to turn yellow and oranges. But not a ton yet, but there's another one in there. But in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you are going to see quite the show. You can see there, that's a probably good one to see what I'm talking about. So I forgot that I said I would give this, and I didn't want to sign off for this week without providing that. And then I will put the statistics of sales and stuff up next. So I am back to do the statistics of what has sold for September 23rd through September 29th. The items in here, I sold a total of 31 items. A lot of stuff sold that was going from bottom. I sold a lot of the paper, sold a few things like these Fisher Price Little People stuff for 11 bucks. So, like I said before, I'm not really going to go through the paper because there's just, it's a hobby business. I'm not looking to make a ton of money. So getting into some of the better items that sold, here's one item, and I made a goof on it again, and I've made a point to look through all of my listings. This was an estate sale I went to that was a mystery sale, that they really didn't post any pictures, and I went, and this was in a separate video where I went from a blue-collar home to a very luxurious home. And I'm going to go through right now what is all of the details pertaining to the fees, and then when I go to the following ones after this, it'll be on the screen if you want to look at particulars, but I'll just give you the highlights of what's going on. So this particular item, it was listed for 3 days, is over here. The time to list, I'm not exactly sure. I have been so far scheduling things in the future. I don't know if that's what they're trying to say, is it was scheduled 11 days ago and it took over a week to get listed. I don't know. But when it hit the marketplace, it took 3 days to sell. Down over here on the left, there was a purchase price of $1 for these 4 glasses that I paid. Up here at the top, it sold for $22.50 on an offer that I took, not knowing I offered free shipping. Over here would be where there should be a shipping cost, should there have been one. The next fee down here, I paid 40 cents for a fixed value fee to eBay. That is basically a transaction fee for them to collect the funds and make the deposit to your accounts. Then there is a final value fee, which is basically the commission. On average, for most categories, it's 15%. I paid $3.03 for this. Then there's a thing called an ad fee because I do participate with the sponsored promoted ads. So I paid them 51 cents to bring in some buyers and prefer my stuff in the search rank versus other people's. $6.30 is what I paid to ship. So thankfully, this was very close to my home. Even after making an oops and eating the shipping, I still came out with $11.26. So for, this item sitting out there for 3 days on the marketplace, I took my dollar and turned it into $11.26. There was a 1,126% ROI on this and a 50% profit margin is what they're saying on this item. So that would be one of the lower price items I sold in this week. Now continuing to go through, another item was some of this Fisher-Price stuff that I have gotten in through the various different times. This took 17 days to sell. I sold the item for $20. I charged $4 for shipping. I did that because I just figured on average that was going to be what the cost was. This particular item, I put a purchase price of $5. I believe this was the sale that I said I should have gotten fired from. That was where I got this because I really overpaid for these things. Even having what I felt as overpaying for these items, I still took my $5 and got $10.64 back on top of that. So I was able to more than double my money in the 17 days that this item was there. And it's a really small, lightweight, not hard to, pack, ship, store type of thing. So I was happy with that. Another item I got was, this was the estate sale that was, I said, the very luxurious home. Or no. This was the private estate sale is where I got this from. That's right. So this was 2 days on the marketplace. I paid a total of $1 for this item. I really don't feel like the people at the estate sale knew what it was, truthfully. So I was able to sell this for $21. The buyer paid $5.90 for shipping. So after all of the fees and everything came out, I was left with $16.97. So I took my dollar and rolled it into almost $17 in 2 days. Very happy with that. This is one of those brands I talked about in the video that says where I went from a blue collar worker to the luxurious home. I tell you about why this Patience Brewster brand is a big deal. You may want to check that video out. So then continuing up to some of the more expensive things, I did sell some of my broken dead stock from the business, which I don't go through only because, like I said, I have never seen that out in the marketplace yet. So that's just why I say that. These are grouped according to the total value of what eBay collected. So this particular item is a stocking holder. It sold for $18, but the shipping was $11.40. So that's why this puts this higher up in the search or in the rankings. Truthfully, I would rather go by, my ROI or something like that, but it's not. This took 6 days to sell. I attributed a purchase price of $4.50. This was a Facebook marketplace. I saw somebody post up. They had 2 Santas. There's 2 elves that I still have. And they gave me a mantle scarf those items are still listed. They have not sold. So this particular item, I broke down to $4.50 for it. And it was up there for $6 when I got this offer, and I had a counter offer with them because they did come in really kind of low. And they took my offer of the counter offer $18. So after everything was said and done, I got $15.91. So not bad. I took basically $5 and tripled it. So that was that item. Like I said, keep your eye on some stuff on the Facebook Marketplace. Some more of my store's dead stock. Here was these Clark's women's shoes. I got these at a yard sale back when I did the 95 house yard sale in Lancaster. And after I got them home, I realized that some of the backing of what's here across the top of the shoe was coming back. It really just needed to be kind of re-glued. Not that big of a deal in fixing, but it's also coming into October at this point, and I knew I was getting to a point where the market of people buying open-toed shoes was kind of coming to a much more slow season for them. So I did pay $2 for them at that yard sale. They had been listed for about 2 months. I took an offer of $12 because I just wanted to get them out of here. Truthfully, I was a little surprised that the calculations came in at $18.60. I'm not exactly sure what I had in there for that kind of calculation, but it did cost me $12.75 to ship. So I did make some money in the shipping. And again, I didn't do any refund because I kind of feel that the buyer probably put that into their consideration of offering $12. So for 2 months, I took $2 and turned it into $12. So it took 2 months to get 6 times my investment back, but I'm not going to complain about that. That to me is a pretty good return still on an item, and I just want to get it out of here. This particular item is this Ed Hardy shirt, and I'm going to tell you, I had a lot of different people interested. I had a couple lowball offers. I kind of just really kind of stuck firm to my price, and it took a little over 3 weeks. It took 23 days to get, but I bought this at a yard sale for $2 and I sold it for $39.99 with a $5.95 shipping cost. So truthfully, after everything came out of it, I still was left with $33.29. I was really happy with this. Like I said, I had a lot of eyeballs on this, trying to, like I said, figure out who was going to get it. I figured it was not going to take too long, and it didn't. 23 days to make my $2 turn into over 33. Again, I was very, very happy. Now getting into what's going to be some of my top 3 items of this week. This was an item I got very late in the day of the 95 house yard sale that I did in Lancaster. I was very surprised. I got a group for these. I know the designer of these from going to the merchandise marts for my wholesale business, and I really didn't know how desirable her stuff. I've really had an education in seeing from buying these things at yard sales and stuff now. So it did take 2 months to sell. I attributed 71 cents to this particular item, and I took an offer of 45. So here you're looking at a Valentine item that sold in September. I still have at least 4 or 5 more from this sale. And after I took that, I got $38.69 back. Not a bad investment. Then we're looking at, this was an item that I sold off the Facebook Marketplace groups. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Marketplace. It was just a Facebook group. And there was multiple items that this woman purchased from me. I ended this listing in Flipwise because, obviously it wasn't available anymore on the eBay Marketplace. She paid the $60 for this item. I attributed to a purchase price of $30 because I mentioned before, this was that sale that after really kind of did the math, I really overpaid. This particular woman spent $180 on items from me. This happened to be the only item that was currently listed. The other stuff was in a pending fashion, and I unfortunately have not figured out how to get that transaction into here yet for you to see. But she spent a really good amount of money. I want to say it was about $180 to $190. So it really did not completely bring in all the cost of shipping and stuff because I need to figure out what the rest of the sales were for that. I just bring this in and showed it because the power of having a concentrated group of interested people for the particular brand or hobby that you're in will bring you some really good sales if you're able to price it and market it in those groups. Some of them won't let you sell, but like I said, this woman, I got a very good transaction from her. Then going into the second highest, this is really kind of a surprise to me. This was the estate sale that I was able to go in and do some pre-shopping, because it really was an estate sale that you kind of had to dig through. And I found these 5 albums from Strawberry Shortcake. And I took them because they were all of the same character, cartoon, whatever you want to say, genre. Put them together as a lot. And I am attributing to $5 for this one. It took about a month to sell. And like I said, I sold them as a group, and I took an offer of $41.99. I did have shipping in there at $20.05, which probably now was very high. But again, when I take these offers, I figure the buyers are already adding in their mind what this is going for. These were listed for $69.99. Like I said, factored that in there as part of the deal for when I was accepting it. I got back $38.12. So it took for a month for me to go from $5 to $38. I was very happy with these, happy to rescue these vinyl albums, and I'm hoping somebody's going to get them and really enjoy them. And then my number one sale of the week is another item I got from an estate sale. And sadly, I did break one of these. They are a Mr. Christmas brand musical egg Christmas ornament that as you opened every one of these, it played a different tune. Unfortunately, every single one of these needed a new battery, and they worked. I had a new battery. I think I have one, but it's those tiny little button batteries about the size of a pencil eraser, and I wasn't really going to put the investment out there. So I did have to take a reduction in price in listing these, knowing that the buyer is going to have to get, 9 new batteries to have all of these work. And like I said, sadly, at the 10th one, I think it would have just been a much better sale if I could have had the 10th one in there. But in this particular time, I had an $18 purchase price for these items, and it took a month to sell. I accepted an offer of $68 for them. The shipping cost was $23.65, and I was kind of at first like, wow, like what was I charging? But they did go from New Jersey to California, and it was a almost $21 cost of shipping, and that was the cheapest I could get. But after everything was said and done, I was left with $40.37. So in this particular item, I kind of like maybe doubled my money a little bit, like 2.5 times my money, because I went from $18 to $40.37. I was very happy with that. We're not fully in the Christmas season yet. I can tell you we just wrapped up the month of September, and the wholesale business was on fire. I did very, very well. Our business was up for that month. So the buyers for Christmas are out there. I just say to keep that in mind when you're doing your own sales, to make sure you get Christmas on as early as you can. I have seen my business start picking up since July for Christmas, and I do sell Christmas all year long. So I hope you got some inspiration, maybe some education, or even just some entertainment out of watching what we got done this week. I appreciate your time in watching. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you got something good out of this. Please leave some comments down below. Let me know if you've ever carried any of these things. Would these be things that you would have picked up, or maybe because you watched this, you will now start looking for and picking up? And I would highly, highly appreciate if you could go and hit that subscribe button down below. That would help me grow this channel, but it would also put my future videos in your feed. So I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.